This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Tour Reviews here, and today we are taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Darth Sidious from Revenge of the Sith. Finally, like 5 years into the packaging change, we have finally gotten our first Revenge of the Sith figure, just in time to change the box design. Really, really amped though. This is a version of Sidious I've wanted forever. I think it is way cooler than the original trilogy design. The sequel's red and black robes though might have edged this one out just a little bit, but it's Sidious with a lightsaber. Wanted it forever. Now you may note before we get into the review that this has a sticker on it from Buy Sell Trade Ashtabula. If I don't give a shout out, Mark's gonna beat me. So Buy Sell Trade Ashtabula is in Northeast Ohio. It is one of the most amazing collectible used media stores. I love it. It is a blast to shop at. They have new stuff. They have old stuff. I love going there when I'm getting ready to go to a Comic-Con when they announce a last-second guest, because I know that their Star Wars figure selection is top-notch, and they'll probably have a figure that I want. I don't have to worry about Amazon beating it up on the way to my porch or whatever. So it's a really, really cool store. And if you punch it into Google Maps and it's less than 72 days worth of driving, then I highly recommend you make the drive. With that said, let's get into the review. Alright, here's Darth Sidious in the packaging. Let's take a look at that before we open them up. This is one of our last issues with the tapered edge Galaxy packaging. Rest in peace, my sweet prince. You have a Star Wars The Black Series logo up above a big window showing Sidious and his accessories off nicely. You have Revenge of the Sith in orange, Darth Sidious, warning 4+ Hasbro. He has some cool artwork of Sidious on the side above his name. Up above him is actually the broken window in his office from his Duel of Mace Windu. That's awesome. This side features your wraparound window, wraparound orange stripe, and your Black Series logo. Around back, you have a zoom in of the art, a Black Series logo again, a bio of him in varying languages. Pause and read whichever one best applies to you. He's #1 in the Revenge of the Sith line. A bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode legal stuff down below. Up top, you have a hanger tab and a window. That's a little bit of light in the box if you're one of those loser in-box collectors. That's not what I do. I like to play with my toys, so without further ado, let's get them out of the box. Alright, here's Sidious out of the packaging. As always, we'll start by taking a look at the accessories. So, we finally get the Darth Sidious lightsaber, and I gotta say, I really like how this turned out. Looking at the hilt, it's mostly silver with some gold punch-ins here and there. It's very phallically elegant. It's really, really cool. And then it has a very nice, bright red blade to it. Whatever they've been doing with these lightsaber blades lately, Hasbro, keep it up. It catches the light nicely. It's very vibrant. It looks like it has just a touch of a fluorescent glow to it. The green ones lately have been especially amazing, but the red ones are good. I haven't seen a recent blue one in a minute, but the Jedi Master Soul one was nice. I mean, just they're doing really good. So, really happy with this lightsaber. As they all do, they unpeg from the hilt. It's a very small hilt, a little bit shorter than most, but that's okay. And it's not about size, right? But the there's no peg, there's no like belt hanging function because he wears it up his sleeve anyway. So that's just kind of his gimmick. Setting that off to the side. He then comes with 2 swappable lightning hands. These are in a very nice, maybe slightly too blue, but then everywhere the light hits kind of looks light. So it has like a texture, you know, via fluorescence or whatever. I do like how these have turned out. And the very, very pale white fingers then kind of bleed into the lightning sculpt. So that's okay. These are vertically hinged because the hands are meant to be flat. And then you can kind of like hinge them up and down. And I'll show you swapping them out later on. But these look really good. So, looking at Sidious, this is amazing. Now, one of the very first things I did right off rip was I broke it a touch. Not irreparably, but I broke it a touch. So this hood pegs into his front chest, and then there's a glued-in peg in the back. And so my first thought was I kind of want to look at this head sculpt. So I unpegged the front, and then I went to unpeg the back, and the glue let go. So there just wasn't really a lot of glue. So we're going to re-glue that before we're done. But why not take this opportunity to look at this amazing Revenge of the Sith Sidious. So the eyes are buried in the wrinkly, pink, fleshy eye sockets there, but they look really, really good. Nice textured wrinkleness all over the sculpt, and he's got that sinister little smirk going on. Just very decent likeness to that very CG, likeness in the movie. But going around, there's actually paint that's been applied to the hair. It's all white and pulled back, very neatly combed. There you see the port that the hood kind of glues into in the back, and it just probably from factory just didn't get a ton of glue in it, which is all right. But this is just a very, very good sculpt. Now, this figure has a mix of soft goods and plastics, and ordinarily I don't mind a soft goods hood, because I can fiddle with it and I can make it work if I choose to use a Jedi robe. But in the case of Sidious, where his whole thing is the hood just does not come down, he's always rocking the hood, I totally understand why they didn't really want to give us that feature. And the rubber hood itself honestly gives you a better resemblance to the way it weighs down in the film. And even though by nature of this being fabric and that being rubber, they are different shades of maroonish brown, they don't look bad. So all in all, I am pretty satisfied there. There we go. In that brief little cut, I actually went and superglued the back of the hood back down. Not something I typically do in the middle of the review, but it's not supposed to come off. So now that that is back and secured, as you see, from the neck down, he's wearing soft goods. It's kind of Mezco-y in that kind of way. Now, of course, we're going to talk about what's going on underneath here. So underneath of here, you might recognize these legs as being Luke Skywalker legs from the Book of Boba Fett. That is one of my most favorite figures. And so, I'm okay with that choice. The upper body is that torso minus the rubber overlay. And from what I've seen of the arms, they appear to be Luke Skywalker arms underneath. So this is basically a Book of Boba Fett Luke Skywalker, which is basically a light cruiser Luke Skywalker. So he has some pretty good articulation, which is what I would like to see in a dude who does dynamic, 720 no-scope Jedi hits with his saber. So it's a really cool look. Very well done on the soft goods. They lay nice. There's a little bit of elastics going on the wristbands. That way it holds the sleeves down. But he does have the kind of puffy, sleeves going on. And he's got the dark brown, almost black-gray overlay around the shoulders. It just does a great job of recreating the likeness of Sidious from this part of the movie after he's been baconated by Mace Windu. So it's a really cool outfit and something that I'm really happy that they have gone forward with recreating. He has a little bit of a force gesture going on with his left hand. Well, let's slide the sleeves up just a little bit just so we can see what's going on with the hands. There we go. A little bit of a force gesture going on there, and then a very much lightsaber holding hand here. Both of these hands are vertically hinged, which is nice. It makes for good lightsaber action. To show you swapping out for the force hands, these hands do peg in very tight to the point that I don't super like swapping them out, but you just have to make sure you put the right hand on the right side and the left hand on the left side. There you go, nice and pegged in, and then you just gotta use that Luke articulation just right to get him to where he looks like he's baconatering you. Now, something that I'm not huge on with any of these Force Lightning hands we've gotten, the Starkiller ones were a little bit better, but the effect is very flat. I don't know, I think it'd look better if there was some sparks going down and up, and it's just from the top down, they look great, but from the side, they look rough. And I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I'm just I would try to make these, they're very two-dimensional, and I would prefer them to be three-dimensional. However, for Revenge of the Sith Sidious, while he absolutely did spam the lightning button like a Battlefront 2 Heroes vs. Villains player, he, this is going to be my lightsaber Sidious on the shelf, and I'm okay with that. As is, the default hands do a pretty good job. You can get that hinge down, get him to kind of point that saber menacingly. It's treason, then. Ah! And that works for me. I guess while we're talking about some of the posability here, why don't we run through our articulation? So the head features a double ball neck function, but the hood kind of makes it redundant. You can get some side to side. You can get them kind of looking up in there a little bit. The head can move, but it doesn't really matter how high he can look up because that hood's never going to change. That's kind of one of the perks of soft goods, I will say. But again, I get why they didn't do it here. So the head has articulation. You're not going to be using it. The arms come all the way up to a T-pose, and there is a butterfly joint in there. They can 360 at the shoulder, but you're going to be bunching up the fabric. So just make sure that you're turning everything to make it work. Single jointed elbows can go past 90 and swivel. 360 on all hands. Like I said, these ones are vertical. The lightning hands are horizontal. There's a mid-torso ball joint under here, which allows you to crunch that far forward, that far back. Use some side to side and pivot. The legs, if you slide the skirt up a little bit, can come all the way out, basically to a straight splits. They can go really far forward, a little bit back. There's an upper thigh rotation in there. Single jointed knees go a little past 90 and swivel. There's no boot cut, but the feet can point straight down, a little forward, especially if you work it up over the molding a little bit. And there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you some pretty decently wide stances while both feet are flat on the ground. Getting him unbunched to the sleeves and stuff. Let's do a couple of size comparisons here. So, because he kind of wears this outfit in the Clone Wars when he deals with Maul and Savage. Here's the Clone Wars Darth Maul. They're rocking about the same height. Maul might be a touch taller if you factor in like where his head falls in the rubber hood. I think that these guys scale pretty nicely. Here is Mace Windu from the Black Series, and Samuel Jackson is a pretty tall guy, so I think him being taller than the Emperor is pretty fitting. Let's get Darth Maul to stand up. Come on, you were just doing it, dude. We'll scoot the Emperor over. And then because the Black Series one is absolutely terrible and horrible and terrible, here is the SH Figuarts Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker. And again, fiddly. And even though the Figuarts runs just a touch small, he's still taller than the Emperor, which I like, and a little shorter than Mace Windu. So I feel like he scales fairly decent here. So all in all, Sidious kind of hits the mark kind of where I want him. He's built like a frail old guy. He's just got a whole bunch of evil lightning built up inside of him. All in all, scale's good. So, end of the day, what do I think of the new Black Series Darth Sidious from Revenge of the Sith? I love it. Like I said, this is a figure that I have been waiting for in the line for a long, long time. And it's finally here, and it's just been done oh so well. Like I said on the recent Super Battle Droid review, one of the nice things about these figures that we're finally getting after wanting for 10 years is that we're not getting them with the quality that we got 10 years ago. The Black Series, I don't see what they can generally improve release to release anymore. So I don't want to say that the line is peaking, but I think we're in the golden age right now. And anything that comes out brand new, like that's a head-to-toe new sculpt in this modern era of Black Series collecting, I just don't see how they can top it. Back in the day, we used to be like, it's as good a likeness as Hasbro does for anything else, meaning that Hasbro just couldn't do likenesses back in 2014. But nowadays, in this era of photoreal and butterfly joints and ball-jointed wrists, which this one didn't get, but it doesn't matter to me, like, the line is just in an amazing spot, and so I'm glad that we waited because this was done expertly. I like the soft goods. I've always been a soft goods enjoyer. I kind of wish the hood was soft goods for some more head articulation, but I cannot say that this looks bad. This is a great-looking figure, and I think it is a must-have to your collection. I honestly think that if you don't have an Emperor and you're at a toss-up between a Return of the Jedi Emperor or this Emperor, to me, the choice is simple, and it's this one. But I understand that some might be like, but my precious OT. And that's all up to you, too. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed it, you leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. Check out the Hybrid Toy Reviews Discord server. It's called Hybrid's Cantina. It's a great place for all of us to just hang out and talk Star Wars and figures and everything else that's going on in our lives. And it's just a super, super fun hangout spot. I've had a lot of fun talking to people there, and I think that you will enjoy it if you choose to join. So that's it. Until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.